Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lesson 5 of piano playing and harmonization. We're going to start with our basic harmonizing activity. We're going to start with just primary chords, the primary triads, and we're going to harmonize Silent Night. Now, if you check out the gray box at the top, it says the most simple form of harmonization uses just 3 chords. 1, 4, and 5, or the triads built on scale degree 1, scale degree 4, and scale degree 5 of whatever key you're in. These are called the primary chords, as we talked about in previous lessons, previous units. And the 5-7 may also be used. When you're playing a 5 chord, if you wish, you can add the 7th of the chord. You can add that 4th note into the chord if you want. It just creates more dissonance, more lead, more audible pull to the 1 chord if you're going to a 1 chord. Next, here we go. So these 3 chords are used in thousands of songs in all different styles of music. It is used in classical music, in pop music, punk, rock, jazz, you name it. The 1, 4, and 5 chords are the most basic, which is why they're called primary chords to use. All right, so it says choose an appropriate primary chords for the following melody. Then continue the harmony in the style of the given opening. What I would like you to do, please, in this exercise is change chords, or have, when you choose a chord, make it last for 2 bars. We're going to go in 2-bar chunks. Okay. Now this piece of music, Silent Night, I'm sure you all are familiar with Silent Night. I'm just going to play the tune for you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Etc. You know the tune. You can play it on your own on a keyboard if you wish. It's in this is in B flat major, as you can see. We've got 2 flats in the key signature, and we're playing. They're starting it off with you by playing a 1 chord. Okay, and you can see by the way the piano is structured, they're doing it in a ballad style. A ballad style in 3/4, obviously, as you can see, has 3 quarter notes per bar. So it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's how they're choosing to do this arpeggiating in 3/4, using quarter notes instead of eighth notes. So that's fine. So you're going to harmonize. Now, what chords do you use? They're showing you a 1 chord in the first 2 bars, and when I play it with the melody, we'll get this. Sorry. Okay. Now, why does a 1 chord sound good there? The reason is when we look at the melody, we can see that we have a lot of notes that fit within a 1 chord. A 1 chord being B flat D F. We have a lot of F's and D's here. We have a little G, but I mean, it's just a sort of a passing note going back to F. Okay, that G here is so short that we don't necessarily have to harmonize it. We can the most appropriate chord across both bars is a 1 chord with scale degree 5 and scale degree 3. All right. Now notice that in the next bar it does the exact same thing. It's the same 5, 6, 5, 3. Okay, so chances are that a 1 chord would be appropriate to play on both across those 2 bars as well. But now when we move to the bar 5, and these 2 bars, let me just put a little bracket over top of it so you can see which bars I'm talking about. Okay, we have different scale degrees, we have different notes. A 1 chord isn't going to work here. Okay, and hopefully you can see that a 1 chord won't work because we have scale degrees 2, 2, 7, right? Those are your scale degrees in the key of B flat major. There's your 2, the C, and scale degree 7, the A. Neither of which we find in a B flat chord or a 1 chord. So what chord does fit? Well, you have to know what is made up in the 1, 4, and 5 chords, what they're made up of. Okay, so we're going to take a moment right here on this blank Now you can do this on separate paper, okay? But I'm just going to use the staff here for now, and we're going to spell out the different chords, the 1, 4, and 5 chords in B flat major. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a treble clef, give myself the key of B flat, and I'm going to write a 1 chord. Okay, a 1 chord, and a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. I want to know what's in those 3 triads when I use them. Okay, so that when I can plug them in as appropriate. A 1 chord uses 1, 3, and 5, right? A 4 chord uses 4, 6, and 1, or 4, 6, and 8, however you want to say it. Okay, and a 5 chord is built on scale degree 5, which in the key of B flat major is F, FAC, or 5, 7, 2. Okay, if I zoom in here, this is 4, 6, and 1. This is 5, 7, and 2. And over here we have 1, 3, and 5. Scale degrees, right? So when I look at these 2 brand new bars that I'm looking at with new notes that I know don't fit a 1 chord, look at the scale degrees that are happening. 2, 2, 7. If I check out these 3 chords that I'm allowed to use, which of these chords would be most appropriate? Which of the 3 triads uses 2s and 7s? Hopefully you can see pretty clearly that it's the 5 chord. Okay, so what I'm going to want to have here is a 5 chord being harmonized for those 2 bars. Okay, or in other words, if I were to translate that into the actual notes on the page, I'm going to have the right hand playing a long chord, a long triad, maybe suspended across both bars, right? And if I'm playing in the right style with these arpeggiating quarter notes, I want to arpeggiate through an F major chord or a 5 chord. So maybe I'll go down here, like that. There, and these are all quarter notes. Whatever, you know what I mean, okay? So I've got F, and F, and A, C, A, F. Those are the notes that I'm using here. All right, now how do I know that's going to work? Well, I know that because when I look at the melody, when I compare the notes in the chord to the notes in the melody, they match. I have C's and F's in the melody as well as in the chord. Okay, so if I'm playing along, I'm just going to play the whole thing for you actually right now. Okay, I'm going to take this accompaniment part and I'll play it in here as well. Okay, so silent night, and if I go silent night, holy night, all is calm. I know it works because I have a C and F. Okay, that's how I know it's going to work. I'm allowed to use 1, 4, and 5 chords, and of those 3 chords, I see that I used scale degrees 2 and 7 in the melody. I have scale degrees 2 and 7 in a 5 chord, so that's what I'm going to plug in the proper piano style. Okay. If I was going to be extra careful, I would also notice that since I'm using a 1 chord down here in the bottom part of the treble clef, B flat, D, F. Okay, I might not want to jump so high as to use a root position F chord. Okay, I might want to play an F chord more in this range. Okay, so maybe I'll play, instead of jumping up like this, let me zoom in here again. I'll get rid of the C chord, the C note on top. Okay, and put it down the octave. Like that. All right, and so now a 1 chord to a C chord to an F chord, That's a better jump than jumping way up to the top. Okay, so now I have what is a second inversion F chord. Okay, so now my music sounds like this. If I play it all the way through, I've got silent night, holy night, all is calm, right? And that sounds just a little bit nicer to the ears than silent night, holy night. Oh, it's just jumping a little too high up. Especially, and I just noticed this as well, it's the voice that does jump up to a high C. So if you can avoid your piano having to do that, it's already being covered by the vocal part. You don't need to do that. Might as well make your inside voices a little bit more robust by keeping that C, by playing a C in the middle instead of getting in the way of the vocal part way up high. All right? So little things to consider like that when you are doing harmonizing. I want you to carry on going through this piece of music, one harmony, one chord for every 2 bars. And if you want to do this, sort of mark each bar or mark each section, however you want to do it, to remind yourself that it's every 2 bars you're supposed to do a change of harmony. All right? And from one set of 2 bars to the next set of 2 bars, it might be the same. You know, generally, that'd be fine. Okay? As you approach the end, you may find that you want to use 1 chord per bar, all right? Especially in the last bit here, and I'll just mark it up for you here. Here. All right? In the end here, you might want to change chords from this, from this bar to that bar, because you can see that the notes in them inside are vastly different. All right, so you may want to change harmonies from one bar to the other. And then for these last 2 bars, obviously it can be one held, sustained chord. All right, give it a try, guys. Let me know how it goes. Ask questions, obviously, as always. And we'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.